I have moved out and moved in, so I was busy, and that's why you didn't see lives on this channel for a while. I'm also developing another YouTube channel in Russian. If I have Russian speaking followers on this channel, I encourage you to find the same channel in Russian. You can just type in Russian "Сообщество новые интеллектуалы," and I hope you'll find this same channel in Russian. There, I'm reading the book of Evgeny Panasenkov. Maybe some of you know this person, a very interesting figure in modern Russia. So yeah, the topic of today's live is, the headline says it all, and you are welcome to join during the live and express your ideas, whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, or none, uh, neither of them. You are welcome to express your thoughts as long as you do it in a respectful manner. So I'll start with some very personal things. I am an asylum applicant myself in the United States. I already said that during my past lives. So on the one hand, I feel like um, whatever is happening is not fundamentally threatening me personally because I know my asylum case. I know that I have proof. I have media content like YouTube videos, articles, and I am almost certain that if the judicial system is just, then even if I get arrested by ICE, yeah, even if I get questioned there while being detained, I'm certain that I won't be deported. Yeah. On the other hand, we see excessive things happening. Although Donald Trump was saying that it's about criminals and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm still like, yes, if we have people like immigrants who are serial criminals, it's their habits, it's their lifestyle. They are here to kill, rob, rape, etc. Then it's fine. And even the fact that now if people are afraid of shoplifting and stuff, it makes me kind of more comfortable knowing that the level of crime is reduced. But still, when you hear stories like, okay, citizen, a war veteran was arrested, or Spanish-speaking family, a family of three, granny, mommy, and grandkid were arrested because they were speaking Spanish. Well, it's excessive, and it's not like those folks were criminal, right? Okay, hi Daryl. I don't know why Daryl calls me Jacob. It's not my name. Anyway, hello Rover. Rover asks, if you had one thing in life, what would it be? Uh, I don't know. I like wisdom. I think wisdom is very important. It's about consciousness. Uh, so yeah, and if you're wise, it includes also wisdom includes knowledge and stuff. So that would make you safe. So yeah, how about you, Rover? What would you have? Whenever I get 100, because I'm close, I'll get to you. Okay, okay, cool. I think YouTube has that function. Yes, go live together. So I'll be happy to, go live with you and others. Yeah, that would be nice. Also, I also go live on TikTok. So you could find me on TikTok. We could go live there as well. Uh, oh, okay. Robert says he'll donate to me whenever he gets $100 because he's close. Okay, cool, awesome, thank you. No, nobody. I'm not Baltic. I'm from the Republic of Armenia. People need to like and subscribe to you. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, okay, folks, like this channel and subscribe and comment. Commenting also helps. So thank you, Robert, for your comments. It also does help. Hi, Rachel. Celtic? No, Armenian. Daryl. It's totally different. So, okay, I won't ignore your comments, but for a while I'll abstain from reading and responding to your comments. Don't feel like I ignore you. I don't. I will respond to your comments, but now I'll just develop the theme of the live. Okay, then I will go through the comments. So yeah, as an asylum applicant, I both feel a little insecure and also I support some of the things, not all of them, some of the things that Trump does. So I like politics in general. And thank you to those two people who sent like my way. I encourage others to do the same. Likes, comments, those things are important. So yeah, I like politics in general, and I like philosophy. I even have a course on both subjects. On my website, I have a free course on politics. On YouTube, I have a paid course on philosophy, and also on another website, I have a course on philosophy. So I love those subjects. I think I'll start from there and then come to the policy of the US and Argentina, yeah, Milei, Trump, China. So, and you guys are welcome to also leave your comments and let's make this live interactive and interesting. Yeah. So, politics is one of the five components of the subject that we call philosophy. In academia, sometimes philosophy has only three components. But that's one way of looking at it. Yeah, I'm an objectivist. I like the philosophy of Ayn Rand. If you heard of Atlas Shrugged, for instance, you know what I'm talking about. So I love her philosophy, and philosophy has five branches or components, and politics is the fourth branch. You know, so during this live, I don't think I'll go through all the branches in order not to make this live too maybe theoretical, but I'll touch upon some things. As a thinking being, for me, it is important to ask myself questions like, who am I? Uh, Identities. Yes, I want to understand and maybe even play with my identities, build some identities. Even the name of this channel, New Intellectuals Community. So I'm building an identity or I adopted an identity again. New intellectual is a concept that exists both in the world of socialism and also in the world of Ayn Rand. So me, I am an objectivist. I follow the philosophy of Ayn Rand, like Atlas Shrugged, The Fountainhead. Yeah. So when I call myself a new intellectual, I follow that. Yeah. So who am I? What do I live for? That's the second question. That's very important for me. Okay, what are my goals, my dreams, my aspirations? You know, I think every thinking person needs to ask themselves those questions. You ask those questions on an individual level, and then you also ask those questions on a collective level. Okay, we as a community, it can be a neighborhood, it can be a city, it can be a state, and it can be a federation or a conglomeration or a group of states, yeah, one big country, continent, mankind, etc. So basically, when it comes to communal or community life, when people ask, why do we live for? What do we want to achieve? That's politics. Politics is about the community life of us as communities. The word politics, the root is polis. That's a Greek word. A polis was a city state in ancient Greece, like Athens or Thebes or Sparta, Syracuse. These were city states, individual miniature governments. Yeah. And by the way, some people might not know this, but democracy was kind of brought to ancient Athens first by a couple. We could call it a gay couple by today's terms, but uh, they were like more of bisexual than gay. Um, but they were also together in a romantic relationship, Harmodius and Aristogiton. There was one ruler in ancient Athens, and the rulers were called tyrants back then. So those two guys, they killed the tyrant of ancient Athens. They were also executed by his guard, but after the demise of the tyrant in ancient Athens, the populace, the oligarchy, we could say, or the individual rich citizens, males, they decided they no longer wanted to be ruled by another tyrant, and they just created a council. Yeah. So this was the birth of democracy. So their story is documented. If you just search Harmodius, Aristogiton, ancient Athens, origin of democracy, you'll stumble upon these interesting stories. Uh, Now we see like that the evolution of countries and communities has led to mainly two or three interesting ideas for the mankind. We have socialism. That's one uh, worldview. And socialism is very altruistic and it is very collectivist. Yeah. So in socialism, it's all about the society, the community, the working class. The individual is not important. Private property doesn't matter. Nations, religion, those things don't matter. So that's socialism. And by the way, communism is part of socialism. People say that first we need to become communist, uh, self-organize into communes, yeah, communities, and then from communism, socialism will arise. Yeah, that was the classical understanding. That's one paradigm. Yeah, and people are like, okay, we want to be equal. Uh, Everybody belongs to everybody else, as in one of the books of Aldous Huxley, they say. Brave New World. And by the way, if you like series, especially sci-fi series, if you like worlds such as Harry Potter's universe or Tolkien's universe, yeah, The Lord of the Ring, The Hobbit, The Dune by Frank Herbert, you might also want to discover The Brave New World of Aldous Huxley. And there, they also equalized it. There was a series. I enjoyed the series very much. So in socialism, everybody belongs to everybody else. There's no private property. Yeah, and privacy is shunned upon. Yeah, like you should be public. You should share everything, your belongings, your thoughts. In USSR, actually, sometimes even the names of the babies would be given by the communities. Like they would have those reunions, and during the reunions, the uh, participating members would just suggest names, and people would get those names. And they had so many new names which were about socialist realism, like Marlen. It's the names of Marx, Karl Marx, and Lenin. Yeah, together, Marx and Lenin, and some people wore those names. Yeah. So apart from socialism, which is very popular in modern world, we have capitalism, different forms of capitalism, and the best form of capitalism would be free market capitalism. Uh, in the philosophy of objectivism, you are also a capitalist, because it's about freedom. It's about fair exchange on a win-win basis. When exchange of ideas, of goods, of services is organized on mutual consent without being forced to do anything, without being blackmailed into something. Okay? So, capitalism, especially free market capitalism, is rare on this planet. And Javier Milei in Argentina and partly Donald Trump in the US, those folks are trying to defend capitalism the way they understand it and perceive it. And so it's kind of, I like it. Honestly, I like the fact that there are some champions of capitalism because, I love freedom. I want to be able to choose my profession. I want to be able to choose uh, when to work, how much to be paid for that. um, in the USSR, and I come from Armenia. It's a former socialist republic. In the USSR, you could not freely choose where to work. You would graduate, and after that, the state would tell you what you had to do and where. And if you tried to earn some extra with some side hustle, you would be arrested, you know? And if you were unemployed, you would also be arrested. So in capitalism, it's not like that. Yeah, you can do two things, three things. I can teach and I can make websites and I can write grant projects for nonprofits. And if I am in a capitalist state, then I'm fine. No one will come after me. Yeah, as long as I pay my taxes. Interestingly, Javier Milei of Argentina, he says that taxes are a hangover from slavery. He says, what is slavery? Slavery is paying taxes 100% when whatever you earn is not yours. So if you pay 40 or 20% taxes, it's like 40 or 20% slavery. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Um, in objectivism, uh, it's not anarchistic. The philosophy of objectivism is not really anarchistic. So, state is important, and we need to have states, but states need to be small, minimalistic. And as an objectivist, I love these ideas. And honestly, some people are not happy with Elon Musk, the fact that he has access to all the financial transactions and stuff. But everything becomes smart nowadays. Yes, we have smartphones, we have smart homes. This thing that works, yeah, it's called now and it's on. So because everything becomes smarter, why shouldn't the state budget, the immigration system, the structure of the government also be optimized and become smarter and smarter? So Millet destroyed a lot of ministries, and he shortened, uh, short-staffed the government of Argentina, and Trump is doing kind of the same. I understand that it's also about people. Yes, it's about thousands and thousands of people, but I don't like the idea of many many thousands of people uh, just depending on taxes of others. Taxes, again, it's just like Javier Milei says, it's a hangover from slavery, and the bigger the state, the more taxes it needs to maintain itself. So every living organism tries to expand. Yeah, if the living organism is smart, then that living organism will try to expand in a smart way. Like we humans, we don't try to grow a third arm, yeah, or a third eye. So some people try, but that's different. We invent stuff, yeah. We invent robotic arms. We invent telescopes, etc. But there are simpler, more primitive organisms that try to expand only physically. And states, governments are sometimes like those primitive organisms, especially in collectivism, like right wing collectivism. It includes nationalism, um, fascism, different forms of those. Yeah. And both in left wing collectivism includes Marxism, socialism, communism, etc. Russia is a right wing collectivist state. Yeah, it's about the Russian people, the Russian nation. Yeah, they are the saviors of the planet. God is with them, as they say. Yeah, China is a left wing uh, collectivist. Like it's all about the working class, the comradeship, etc. So both collectivist types of states, they try to physically expand, like fascism. They like to control everything. Yeah, in fascism, the state controls with whom you can sleep. In Muslim collectivist states, which could be compared to fascism, because if we go through the definition of fascism, it's about several things, which include persecuting the opposition. That's one thing. Being very patriarchal and conservative. That's another thing. And that also includes persecuting minorities, religious minorities, sexual minorities. Iran, for instance, is pretty fascistic in that respect. Yeah, it's just not Christian or European fascist entity. It's an Arabic, well, no, Iran is not Arabic. It's a Muslim, yeah, Middle Eastern fascistic entity. So in fascism, they want to expand. They want to have, their tentacles everywhere. Uh, in Russia, in Chechnya, in Iran, places like that, they even control your haircut, like North Korea. You could be jailed, you could be executed if your haircut is deviating from a given list of acceptable haircut styles. That's insane. Yeah? And also left wing collectivism, like socialism. Again, the state is everywhere. Like in USSR, it was crazy. KGB was pretty powerful, and the KGB agents were everywhere, and they were recruiting regularly, recruiting citizens, like turning them into agents, basically. So one half of the nation, of the populace of the USSR, were constantly writing letters and spying on the other half of the population. And that was insane. So in collectivism, both right wing and left wing collectivism, states want to expand and grow and get more control, get more physicality. In the Republic of Armenia, for instance, is also moving towards that. They are optimizing the state right now, the current government, and they are moving towards kind of left wingish collectivism. Mm, and your member of parliament, one member of parliament may have his um, bodyguards, his driver, his first assistant and second assistant, and his media or PR and communications representative. At least 6 people for one member of parliament. Yeah, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but approximately. So state is like that. It's a primitive organism, just like those slugs, or sometimes when a snake tries to swallow a very big prey. Yeah, they try to get bigger physically. Yeah. So collectivist states are like that. They want to expand exponentially all the time. And it means they need more people, more money, more resources. And more money means your money because governments don't make money. And what is a government? It's just a group of people. A government is not a building. A building, like an empty building, is just, bricks. And the government can move from one building to another building, right? It's not really about buildings. It's about people. When we say government, it's about people. Um, so Russian state, North Korean state, Chinese state, Armenian, European states, many of them are after expansion. And in capitalist states, it's rare, but Javier Milei is a champion of this. He's like, no, the state shouldn't get bigger because th- that uh, growth of the state, that expansion, is at the expense of the citizen. The citizen pays for that expansion. Yeah? So it's not, from the perspective of free market capitalism, it's not rational. It's not efficient. Like imagine a tree that tries to make its branches too long. The branches will just break. So that's why states need to become smarter. And both right wing and left wing states, collectivist states, they break regularly. Yeah, like Hitler's uh, Nazi Germany or uh, Mao's China. Actually, China right now is not purely socialist. They have private property, they have Western capitalist brands there. Yeah, China is like a big warehouse, uh, and without the customers, the US, Europe, and the rest of the world, China would become miserable. Yeah, just as it was many decades ago when the population was starving. So I like those um, components, those policies by Millet and Trump when they are after optimizing the state. And optimization also means, getting rid of uh, extra things. Yeah. For instance, if I want to lose weight, I know that it's mostly about calorie intake. Of course, I can do sports, I can become more active, drink more water, but if I don't count my calories, if I don't control the intake, and if I eat, let's say, 4,500 calories per day, I won't get any results. I won't get fit. Yeah, I won't lose weight. Um, so if I want improvement, I need to get rid of some extra stuff. Yeah. So from the perspective of intelligence, reason, I could even say maybe common sense, but let's just leave that term aside. Just reason. Yeah. Optimization is about cutting extra things. Even as an individual, if you want to succeed in something, you need to focus on your specific goal. Sometimes you may need to stay home, not to go out, not to watch something on YouTube or somewhere on TikTok. So you cut extra things. That is like nice. I'm just very, very curious what will follow after this. That will show whether the government of Trump is really capitalist or they are more like they have those fascistic inclination. If within 2 or 3 years after this optimization, they hire more police officers, ICE officers, if they make the state bigger after what they are doing now, then for me it will be a sign that they are kind of uh, going towards right wing collectivism, like fascism. Right now, I cannot say that it's pretty fascistic because the state is kind of getting shrink. However, like machismo is there, patriarchy is there. They are after minorities. Right now, they are after like trans people, yeah, transgender people, mm, and LGBT people in general. So some of the signs are there, you know, but I wouldn't, call him a fascist as of now because some of his policies and actions are reasonable. They make sense, you know. So, what else? I don't like, yeah, what they do with LGBT topics, especially trans people. Like they talk about trans people in a very kind of denigrating way, calling them men, and they just kind of deny the existence of the trans community and trans people. That's kind of, fascism always starts like that. It's always about minorities, and namely religious and sexual minorities. We are protecting our children, we are protecting our good, great religion and faith. So those things are worrying. Also, there is, what's the term? I forgot the term, but okay, I'll just remember that. Controversy. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. So, if the government should give maximum liberty and freedom to the citizens, why on earth would the government dictate its citizens their possible genders? So, here we have some controversy. Like, every citizen chooses their gender, yeah, or they are assigned by the medical community. They can change their gender legally and medically, yeah, their biological sex and their gender. So why the state would be interested in imposing a certain gender theory, uh, thus interfering with the choices and decisions of the individual citizens? I also don't like what the far left is doing when they try to, have those policies everywhere at kindergartens, schools, prisons, and both right wing and left wing collectivists. They are always focused on groups. In the right wing, it's about the religion, the race, the ethnicity, uh, and in the left wing, it's about the class, like working class, or it's about minorities like LGBT people or ethnic minorities. So the war between the two is always about groups of people, and individuals are forced in both camps. They want to force things on individuals legally. Yeah, okay, we will write down this policy, and then after that, everybody will have to do it this way. Yeah, both the right wing and the left wing, the extreme parts of both poles like it. Actually, in the political theory, there is also this interesting um, image. Like instead of thinking of the right wing and the left wing as something straight, like this is the right side, this is the left side, or if my camera is mirroring, then the opposite. There is the horseshoe theory, like they say. Actually, the far right and the far left are not that far from each other. Like you can imagine a horseshoe, yeah, and the more extreme they are, the closer they are. They both are after control, and they want to control groups and individuals. They want to, make those laws and impose their worldview on everyone. They both want taxes, heavy taxes, etc., etc. And when it comes to objectivism and individualism and free market capitalism, we don't want to impose our worldview on others. Yeah, like it's about free choice. And the individual, get to choose as much as you can. I heard that recently also Trump, his administration, people from his administration suggested that the budget should move to blockchain and people should be able to follow live, like see what's happening with their money. And I love that. That kind of optimization and making things smarter and more transparent is very needed and it's very important. So that I support, and I don't think that the Democrats would be interested in that, honestly. I might be mistaken, but with Biden, with Kamala, my impression was that they are more flaccid, more bureaucratic, um, more afraid. Funny, conservatism comes in many different forms. And one of the forms of conservatism is fear, like they are afraid of making specific steps. Okay, what will the voters say? What will this group think? And that makes them very slow, very conservative, very inefficient. You know, Biden and the war in Ukraine. And they could have supported Ukraine so much more. And now Trump is at least clear. Yeah, he's like, okay, give us those minerals and we'll protect you. It's more straightforward. We hear something. Yeah, with the previous administration, my impression was that we didn't hear many things clearly. They would speak for hours, but the content of what they were saying was not clear. It's just the art of word washing, washing everything away with your words, speech washing. Yeah, I'm just coining those terms as I go. Yeah, you've heard of whitewashing, maybe pink washing or whatever, and I'm now inventing this term. So uh, that's another thing I like about the Trump administration. Yeah, that they want to make the budget more transparent, and with smart technologies, you know, the citizen needs to have more and more control over how their taxes are uh, spent or governed. You know? Of course, there are some concerns. Some people are like, well, what if people don't want to pay for the army? Well, what if they don't? Then it's a collective decision, and not all people, will be like, I don't want to pay for the army. Of course, there will be some people that will pay, yeah, for the army, for schools, for roads, etc., etc. But at least it's more honest, and the citizen, have more control, yeah, and more uh, and an increased ability of observing things, of being informed, more knowledge, and knowledge is power. Knowledge is the ability to control something in the future. Yeah? So that's another thing I support with Trump administration. Mm, yeah, he's a very oh, I forgot the word. Controversial. Yeah, he's a very controversial figure, Donald Trump, and he's a convicted felon. Okay, the judges, the jury, they said that he was guilty. Yes, on many, many charges, like dozens of charges. So um, again, we have this paradox. Yeah, maybe even an oxymoron. Um, of course, no one is perfect, but praising Trump or viewing him as a pure angelic hero won't be correct. And also vilifying him in the worst possible way and dehumanizing him wouldn't be correct either. Of course, we remember all those things. Just grab the P word, yeah, and those scandals and his verbiage in some context. We all know that. We all understand that. However, sometimes tough times need tough heroes. And when an angel comes, and if an angel was there, the angel would behave in an angelic way, and we would be unhappy with the angel because he would be very kind, very pure, yeah, very abstract. Um, so maybe, for cleaning lots of things up, this country right now needs someone exactly like Trump. It would be also interesting to have a woman president, honestly. Um, but it's not. It shouldn't be about the gender or the sexual orientation of the person. That's another thing I like about the Trump administration. I like meritocracy. I'm gay myself. I'm non-binary, but I wouldn't like to be hired for, you know, my sexuality or my gender. I'd like to be hired for my knowledge, my skills, my enthusiasm, etc., etc. So yeah, Kamala and other women before and after her that tried and that will try. We have women presidents. Yeah, in Germany maybe they might have that conservative lady who is a lesbian, right? Right wing lady, and so the U.S. With Donald Trump. Honestly, at some point, I'm like, he reminds me of Hercules. When Hercules was given the task of cleaning those, I don't know what thing places, like barns, yeah, but there were bulls, the divine bulls, and the barn was super dirty, and an ordinary mortal wouldn't be able to clean those barns, whatever they are called. But Hercules did that. So sometimes you need someone who is not ordinary. And it can also be in a negative way, like the person can be rude, the person can be uh, disrespectful in some ways, yeah, crude, etc. But some tasks require people like that. So I'm both worried. I don't know if I could be, arrested uh, on the street, even if I am very respectful with the officers, even if I show them my documents and stuff. So on the one hand, there is this fear and uncertainty in the country right now, and the prices are still going up, right? The eggs and stuff. On the other hand, however, people and me included, we want change and we want, I hated this fact that the Democrats were like, okay, there is a lot of shoplifting, then let's just allow people to steal whatever is under $1,000. Like mercy, the idea of mercy and kindness can be corrupted and corruptible and corrupting. Like you cannot be merciful towards crime, you know, or else that creates the atmosphere of impunity. People are like, oh, okay, I'll do this again because it's just a minor thing. I won't get arrested or something. So I also dislike this about left-wing collectivists, like communists, Democrats. They are very merciful towards everything, including towards crime, like being pro-Palestinian, being pro-Hamas when they kill the Jews, yeah, in uh, Israel, and the very aim of their existence is to destroy Israel. And the political left is like, oh, those poor terrorists. It's Israel's fault that they chose the path of terrorism. Israel is to blame. Blame the Jew, in other words. That's insane, and that's intellectually dishonest. You know? Um, that's wicked. Of course, that's kind. That's very generous, emotionally speaking, but that's very dishonest. So, with Trump, like the presumption of innocence is like important. Yes, you should be considered innocent until proven guilty. That's very important. However, the fact that they are going after crime is good. I just hope that they won't stop only with immigrant crime because they say that statistically, uh, immigrants commit very little crime. I don't know the percentage. I think it's below 10% of overall crime, maybe less than 5%. I don't know. I didn't check the statistics. I hope that Trump will show intolerance against crime for everyone. That's, the important thing, not just immigrants, not just trans and LGBT people. That's insane. But everyone, you know. And some of the worrying things about Trump, like he released his uh, supporters who attacked the uh, Capitolium, and he tries to get the names of the FBI agents. So those things are very worrying. And again, here I see again one of the components of fascism is to go after the opposition. In fascism, you denigrate your opposition, you go after them, you deprive them of work, of resources, you jail them, you make their lives miserable so that they choose to abandon politics, maybe even emigrate, leave the country. So that's another thing which is worrying, in Trump. So yeah, my analysis, I tried to be very honest and show that it's not just black and white. It's not just yes and no. It's a whole spectrum of things. So how will this go? Of course, we cannot be sure. Some of the things are working, like what he did with Canada and Mexico. That the style was kind of rough, but he got what he wanted. Yeah, with the borders and with the security and stuff. But on the other hand, some other things are worrying. Yeah, like going after FBI agents who were, trying to maintain order and arrest those who stormed the building. Yeah, this government building. That's very unhealthy. That's very dangerous. Yeah? So yeah, that's it. Thank you for being with me. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you can get subscribed. And let me know in the comments section what topics would you like me to cover in the future, like philosophy, politics, or reading a book or something. What would you like to get from this channel? Leave your comments and I'll try to also listen to you, yeah, to my followers. And please be more active. I like interaction very much. Unfortunately, we don't have many comments as of now. So I'll just wait a little bit and give you guys a chance because the live can also be lagging. Um, so yeah, tell me what you think. What are your thoughts on these subjects? Do you support Trump, or what aspects of his poli- policies and politics you support and why? And what subjects would you like to, cover, or me to cover on my channel? Okay, 8 people are watching, but no one is responding as of now. Oh, thank you for the third like. Thank you to those 3 people who liked the stream. I appreciate every like and every comment. And let's make this interactive, guys. So I'll give you some more time. Let's see if you come up with some questions, commentaries, share your opinion. Leave in LA about 12 a.m. In 10 minutes it will be 12 a.m. I'm kind of tired. 11 people are tuned in right now. Great, no one is commenting. Okay, so I think I can wrap it up for today. Um, the questions are still relevant for whenever, whoever watches this material and whenever you watch, even after the live is over, tell me what topics would you like me to cover on this channel and also share your opinion on these issues. Yes, what do you think of Trump and his policy? What's your understanding of an ideal government? What would you like your government to be like? To what functions should it do? Should it be very big? Should it help the poor? Or should it be very small? Maybe I'll make another live and I'll talk about the structure of government from the perspective of Objectivism, which is a very interesting topic. What institutes are very important from the perspective of Objectivism, etc., etc. So thanks for being with me. High five to you all, and see you next time. Bye bye.